Okay guys, it's turbo time. Where else would we come but MTQ, the leaders in turbocharger technology here in Australia. We've got branches all over Australia to cater to your needs. It's not just turbos that they look after, but so we're going to jump in here, talk to Leigh a bit about the business and have a quick run through. All right, so here we are at MTQ. Leigh, thanks for having us here.
No worries, Paul. Welcome to MTQ.
This facility is really vast and it's really expansive. Now, you do more than just turbochargers here. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview of the facility and a bit of a walkthrough and explain a bit about what MTQ actually does?
Yeah, sure. MTQ's been around for over 40 years. We specialise in turbochargers, diesel fuel injection and performance products. We also supply the full range of the Bosch automotive parts and PBR brakes through the MTQ Bosch Superstore brand. We have 11 branches and regional distributors located Australia-wide in both metropolitan and rural areas. Along with the dyno testing, most of our branches have a large range of diagnostic scan tools to accurately detect and evaluate faults and diagnose your vehicle. So yeah, here at MTQ, of course, we've got all the cleaning facilities in order to do the job properly. We've got all the machinery, equipment, cleaning room, everything you need to get the job done right as far as overhauling your turbocharger. Here at MTQ, we also specialise in diesel fuel injection. This covers diesel pumps, fuel injectors, common rail, non-common rail. Of course, we have got all the test equipment here to be able to service and overhaul a large range of brands and different design of fuel injection systems. All of our technicians here are factory trained.
All right, so we're going to have a bit of a look at the overlay of the turbos here. Now, Leigh, we've just seen that you do a lot of diesel mechanic work and turbo upgrades. This is one of your more common upgrades, is it?
It is, yes. This is the factory turbo from a Nissan Patrol TD42. These are a Hitachi turbo, HT18. We do a lot of overhaul, just a basic overhaul on these. We also, very common to upgrade this turbocharger. Yeah, so this is normally what the turbo comes in, looking a little bit worse for wear, usually due for a bit of a birthday. So normally our techs would pull these down, check the turbocharger for any sort of faults like excessive shaft movement, worn bearings, score marks, cracks in turbine housings, leaking oil, all the common faults with turbos. Yep. Check your actuators. Once we've worked out, if the parts are reusable or what we need to replace, normally we would use a genuine overhaul kit to repair these turbochargers, which would consist of all your bearings and seals and bolts and everything gets replaced. Also, a very common thing with these is to upgrade the turbocharger. So when we do that, with the turbine housing, we take this and we put a Garrett wheel and shaft in the Hitachi turbo. Yep. So we machine this out to accommodate the larger wheel. And we also put a billet compressor wheel on the front. So these are much more efficient in design and lighter. Yep. So they keep the spooling of the turbocharger nice and low in the revs, what the 4.2 guys are looking for. So normally we do all that, and then once it's all reassembled, balanced, this is your final product you end up with. You would get your turbo with all your gaskets, bolts and everything to refit the thing to the vehicle. And then of course we'd recommend a dyno tune after that is done.
Yeah, cool, and that's one thing we just saw before that you guys can look after too, from every step, from the car coming in, servicing it, taking the turbo off, disassembling it, cleaning it, putting it back on the car, and then dyno tuning it too, so the customer doesn't have to go anywhere else other than you guys for every step of the process.
One-stop shop, can do it all, no problem.
Cool. What kind of power sort or torque increases are guys seeing with this sort of upgrade?
Generally, from standard, with increased boost and this upgrade, you would normally see around about 35% increase over standard.
Wow, so definitely worth it.
Obviously, you're accommodating mods to go with it, exhaust and usual upgrades.
So another big part of MTQ's business is this huge dyno cell they've got here. It's got to be one of the biggest dyno rooms we've ever seen, and it's purpose-built to basically dyno tune any and every vehicle you can imagine. So everything from your dual-wheel trucks to performance vehicles. MTQ branches around Australia have these dyno facilities, and they can fault test your car, retest dyno configurations on cars. You can performance tune here. All right, so one of the biggest brands MTQ do offer is their performance division, which is Sonic Performance. As you can see here, is a wide range of all your Go Fast turbo tech accessories. So everything from your flanges, your gaskets, silicon hose, nuts, bolts, oil drains, hoses and fittings, wastegates, blower valves, you name it. If it's got to do with turbocharger technology, the Sonic Performance brand has got it. So Leigh, two of the biggest advancements in turbocharger technology over the last few years have been the advent of billet compressor wheels and as well as roller bearing turbo cartridges. Do you want to explain some of the differences between the two here and just a quick overview of what they are and what the benefits to the customers
Sure,
are.
no problem. Okay, here we've got your two different compressor wheel designs. Obviously your billet wheel here versus your old cast design. These are fine, OEM sort of standard stuff, no problem.
Yep.
But obviously in the performance side of things, when you are going to start cranking the boost up, you definitely want to be using a billet wheel. With the increased pressure, of course, and the rotating speeds of the turbocharger, this style can have a tendency to fail or explode. So you definitely want to be using a billet wheel for performance sort of work.
So the billet wheels, are they a little bit lighter as well?
They are,
they've got
yes.
a little bit different blade design too, I see.
They do, completely different design. So obviously design of this is much more efficient versus this. This is perfect in your OEM daily driven car, but something where you're trying to achieve maximum performance, the increased efficiency and design of that compressor wheel is far and above this.
So pound for pound, same turbo, exactly the same wheel size, one with a cast wheel, one with a billet wheel, you'll generally see a little bit quicker spool time.
Generally speaking, you would, because of the weight variation. You know, size for size, your billet wheel will of course be lighter, less rotating mass. So generally, yes, they will spool faster.
Probably the biggest advent in turbocharger tech over the last 10 or so, whatever years, was the roller bearing cartridges. So bigger and bigger turbos going to make that kind of power, especially even guys making 1,000 horsepower on the street these days. They hit the throttle and they want that boost response instantly. This has really enabled people to run much bigger turbochargers on the street than they previously would have to counteract all that lag. Do you want to explain some of the points of a journal bearing turbo and versus that of a ball bearing turbo?
Okay, so in general, this is your journal bearing turbocharger. You've got two journal bearings here with your thrust bearing, and that is what's actually controlling the thrust load of the turbo. So the faster this turbo spins, the more load is being placed on your thrust bearing.
Yep.
With the journal bearings also, I mean, there is more friction there by design as well, as opposed to your ball bearing cartridge. So with the design of the ball bearing cartridge, you have dual row ball bearings inside here. That whole cartridge replaces all this mechanism here.
Yep.
And that essentially goes there. With that design, it has 10 times more greater thrust handling with that design as opposed to your journal bearing design.
Yep, no worries. So again, it's basically a greater longevity, but also that greater, quicker spool response.
They do, definitely, yeah. The transient response with the ball bearings versus your journal bearing, much faster transient response. All right, so yeah, we do carry all the leading brands. Two of the biggest choices that a lot of people are going for at the moment are the Borg Warner series, the EFR, and of course the good old reliable Garrett ball bearing GDX range.
Yeah, cool. We've used both of these on customers' cars, and let me tell you, they're both brilliant turbos and both market leaders in their field for sure. Okay, so it's not just new turbochargers that you guys sell, but you guys service anything and everything. So anyone that's got a turbo out there, if they need any work done on it, you guys can cater for that, can't you?
Definitely. So I mean, not just your ball bearing range, I mean, of course we can do those, but it could be an old truck turbo, boat, power generation, anything you like, anything that's got a turbo, yeah, bring it in, we can have a look. There's definitely, should be something we can do with your turbo.
Well, I mean, that's it basically, guys. You got a turbo, there's only one place you should be heading, it's MTQ. So look up their website, mtqes.com.au, and find your nearest dealer and just give them a call and work through something with the guys there.